This is big as they just robbed the Boston Celtics as G League standout player Ron Harper Jr. has been claimed as a two-way contract by the Detroit Pistons. And this is big for the Celtics as they lose one of their standouts. And it could lead to some possible other things with some other two-way players as well with JD Davidson and Drew Peterson. So we're going to be diving and looking at that and what this could ultimately mean for Joe Mazzulla and his offense. We'll be getting into all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support on the channel, which has been super, super appreciative. Like I said, if you guys do enjoy the content, let us know what you think about this news down below in the comment section, and continue to hit that like and subscribe button to help us get to our goal of 6,000 subscribers. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the video at hand and make sure to grab a snack, as this is honestly bittersweet for the Boston Celtics, as ultimately they have a player in Ron Harper Jr., a player who was brought in to this summer league team this year. Obviously, son of Ron Harper, brother of Dylan Harper, top draft recruit in this year's draft at Rutgers. But Ron also played at Rutgers and played a solid role for the Celtics in the Summer League this year, to where it earned him an Exhibit 10 day deal from the Summer League to go to training camp, where he was invited and then ultimately given a roster on this Maine Celtics team, where he has been a pretty solid player, where other teams have also been keeping their eye on him and took that as note as well. And if we see from Michael A. Scotto, we can see that the Detroit Pistons have agreed to a two-way deal with Ron Harper Jr., league sources told Hoops Hype. Harper Jr. impressed recently at the G League Showcase. And for the Celtics, as we all know, he was unfortunately not on one of those two-way contracts. He was on just a regular Maine Celtics contract, which means any team around the NBA, if they see fit, if they see a player on the G League that they think could do solid for their roster, they can go up and pick him. And that was not the only move that the Pistons made yesterday, as they went out and waived Cole Swindler and Alonde Williams for players in Tolu, Smith, and Ron Harper Jr., as they were both signed to two-way deals. And this is something we see around this time of year due to the fact of teams wanting to experiment with some guys on two-way deals, or looking at that G League Showcase specifically with a guy like Ron Harper Jr., who is not fit to earn a two-way contract with this Celtics team, as they already have those three locked up with JD Davison, Drew Peterson, and with Anton Watson. And with none of those players looking to be moved at this very moment, or not being converted either to standardized contracts on the Celtics, if a player like Ron Harper Jr. is impressing and wants to get either a more run or a bigger opportunity, kind of banking on one of these two-way deals is impressive. And for him, this is obviously great. I say it's bittersweet for the Celtics fans because we are losing somebody on this team, and we don't obviously want to lose a key player on this G League team, one that was in the G League final last season. But it is sweet to see a player like Ron Harper Jr., someone who is obviously trying to get his NBA career on the jump start, be able to convert himself from a G League deal and from a Summer League contract in an Exhibit 10 to that two-way deal, to possibly even get himself a full standardized deal. For Ron Harper Jr., if we want to look at his stats for the G League this year, we can see he's averaging around 10 points per game for the Boston Celtics here, shooting pretty solid shooting percentages around as well, shooting above 45% from the field, around 40% from three-point range, struggling a little bit at that free throw rate there. But Harper has been a solid guard, solid creator, and one of the impactful pieces, like I had mentioned, on this Maine Celtics G League team that has really showcased his skill set. And I'm very happy for him that he has been able to use this opportunity to get himself a new place. But for the Celtics, they are robbed as they lose a player in Ron Harper Jr., and now we're going to have to address that concern, was obviously trying to pick someone else up for this Maine Celtics G League team. So let me know what your thoughts are initially down below on the comment section on this. But we got to get into some more, because what does this mean for other Maine Celtics? And I'm sorry that I messed up the chapter right there, my bad. But what does this mean for other Maine Celtics? As we all know, like I mentioned, some two-way players like JD Davison, Drew Peterson, Anton Watson have yet to be converted from this Celtics team, with the Celtics only having one roster spot. But some of those players have really impressed lately in the Celtics land. If we want to look at a player in JD Davidson, we see yesterday him score the franchise best point as he gets 2,000 points for the Maine Celtics on a 40-point night where he gets a career high in steals. And JD Davidson has been playing exceptionally well for the Maine Celtics over the recent last couple years. And unfortunately, what this Celtics team has kind of fallen trap with this team having so many great guards already where he hasn't been able to fight for that roster spot or get it guaranteed. And we've also seen a player in Jrue Peterson as well get some run for this Celtics team, specifically in the month of December, getting some extended run as a two-way contract with Sam Hauser, dealing with some back spasms and needing a shooter/scorer off the bench, where he provided some solid rhythm shooting and some growth on the defensive side of the ball. So with both of these players in Jrue Peterson and JD Davidson really sparking up on those two-way contracts, really impressing Celtics fans and kind of showing what true potential we have in this farm system. It's ultimately led the Celtics fans to lead into some questions. One, will any of these guys be converted to standardized contracts by the end of this season? And if not, what is ultimately going to happen with these guys if we could see a player like Ron Harper get snagged? Well, I do want to stay for a two-way contract that they're not going to get snagged. They're not going to get converted to other teams. The only way that that would be able to happen would be able to be by a trade, and having two-way players involved in trade is a little bit difficult and something that we haven't really seen in a while. Now, I do believe that if a player like JD Davidson was given that opportunity from another team to get him that start, to give him a converted contract, the Celtics would figure out a way to get that deal done because there is not a lot of room for him to grow and get that this season on this Celtics team. But for the future, honestly, I do see a player like Jrue Peterson possibly getting converted as a Celtics standardized contract, as he has seen some play with this Celtics team over JD Davidson and more extended run over JD Davidson, as his role on the wing as a scorer and shooter is a little bit more needed, as it's a little bit under addressed on this Celtics team compared to that guard position with Jrue Holiday, Derrick White, and Peyton Pritchard all being so successful this season. But ultimately, I could see a player like Jrue Peterson possibly getting that last spot or even 14th spot if the Celtics do keep a spot open, or possibly the Celtics waiting to next season to give him a spot. But with some other players on this Celtics team, like I mentioned, JD Davidson, I ultimately think another team next season is going to give him that opportunity. And then when talking about other Maine Celtics that aren't on two ways, there's one specific one in Hasten Ward, who has been absolutely fantastic for the Celtics as a rim protector and as a center. And a player like him, I desperately do not want to see get picked up by any of these other teams on a two-way contract. Now, hopefully, he could be a piece the Celtics have in this Maine Celtics system for a little bit, can develop, and hopefully have him earn himself a two-way contract with this team. But that is someone also to keep an eye on. And if you know the Maine Celtics, you definitely know who I'm talking about. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section on this Ron Harper news, how you guys ultimately feel about him getting picked up on a two-way contract. Like I said, it does stink a little bit that the Celtics are losing a player, but I am very happy for the success that Ron Harper has been able to show through the last couple of seasons, fighting through the G League, through the Summer League this season with the Celtics, to earn himself that Maine Celtics spot, and now to finally really test his potential as a two-way contract to get that standardized deal. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, how you guys ultimately feel about this Celtics team. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. As we all know, the Celtics gear up to take on the Denver Nuggets tomorrow, and it's going to be a big game as the Celtics look to bounce back from that Thunder loss. Take on Nikola Jokic should be a fun one. We'll have some coverage breaking down from all of that and leading up to it, so make sure to stay up to date. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your night, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.